Brenda Lucki, just this afternoon, the commissioner of the RCMP, announcing in a statement that she will retire from the force and from that position. She is the first woman to hold it. The statement reads in part, "Today I announce that I have made a personal decision to retire. This was not an easy decision, as I love the RCMP and have loved being the 24th commissioner. I am so incredibly proud to have had the opportunity," she writes, "to lead this historic, organization and witness firsthand the tremendous work being done each and every day by all employees from coast to coast to coast and internationally." Brenda Lucki was appointed to this position in 2018. She said just in November, when she was testifying before the commission looking into the invocation of the Emergencies Act, that she was absolutely staying on as commissioner of the RCMP. She has endured several controversies during her time in that position, and we'll delve a little closer into those controversies throughout the program. But we first want to get to some reaction to what is very significant news on the policing front nationally in this country from Brian Sauvé. He's the president of the National Police Federation and a serving member of the RCMP, currently on a leave of absence. Just for people watching, Brian, this is essentially the union that represents members of the RCMP.
It is.
Yes. So were you surprised? I was telling you in the break, I opened up my various websites this morning and read you commending the work that Brenda Lucki had done so far, sort of saying we have a good relationship. Are you surprised that she made this decision?
Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, everyone has a shelf life, and as she mentioned in her message, this was a personal decision for her, and I wish her the best in her retirement. Lovely lady and very, very personable. And I think part of that personality obviously led to the relationship that the NPF has had with senior management in the RCMP to try and resolve labor issues at the lowest possible level, which some might find is a step outside the norm, where usually it's adversary, labor versus management. And we have to recall that, you know, Brenda took the job before the NPF was even certified. So we weren't a union yet. So she did lead the organization through some labor change, some considerable labor change, and then ultimately the ratification of our first collective agreement. And those open door policies, I think, are a good thing for future labor.
It's interesting, and I read your comments this morning with note because, and I know you have your own thoughts on kind of the scrutiny over Commissioner Lucki, but there was a lot of it, right? And she faced a number of big stories: the Emergencies Act, the inquiry into the awful mass murder in Nova Scotia, you know, questions around systemic racism and the way she handled them. Like she was always facing a barrage of questions. People were always asking, are you going to stay on? It sounds to me like you knew someone very different than the Brenda Lucki we saw through the camera.
Well, I think, but that's the role, right? You know, as the commissioner of the RCMP, responsible for the largest policing agency in Canada and second one in North America, there is going to be a lot of scrutiny and public scrutiny. Any misstep, and I'm very alive to the fact that any story about the RCMP all of a sudden is national, sometimes international news, versus smaller police agencies where it can be somewhat locally held. So the role, if we go back to a number of previous commissioners, there's always been challenges and there's always been public scrutiny of decisions that they make and how they handle them. Unfortunately, circumstances she could not have predicted. We could not have predicted the Mass Casualty Commission or the Mass Casualty Inquiry or the tragic incidents that happened in Portapique. She just happens to be in that role at that time. Would someone different have handled it differently? I don't know, and we'll never know. Similarly with the occupation here in Ottawa.
For example, the inquiry into what happened to Nova Scotia, it ended up sort of pitting her against some of the RCMP's other members. Well, what is your sense of what the membership felt about her time in the role and her, I guess, effectiveness or lack thereof, whatever it may be, in the job? And do you think that the controversy that surrounded her affected their view of her?
Well, I think a number of things on that. You know, we have to go back to early 2020 when the mass casualty happened, and hot on the heels of that, obviously, you had George Floyd in the United States, the defund the police movement, the systemic racism conversation, and then just after that, obviously, you came into the Occupy Ottawa and the Public Order Emergency Commission. So I think our membership would disagree with some of the leadership decisions and how she made those decisions. But I think a lot of our membership appreciated the fact that she's a people person, and she does extremely well in person with our membership. I've seen it firsthand, and she was hampered by COVID restrictions, gathering restrictions, and being able to deliver that message in person.
When you think about what's next and what's ahead and who ultimately will replace her, what is the most important thing for you and the members of the RCMP that is addressed with that appointment?
Well, I'm biased. So obviously from a union perspective, I would love to see the somewhat open door policy carry on, and the ability for our representatives in each division across the country, each province across the country, to have those open, frank communications and discussions about low-level issues and be able to solve them. From a broader perspective, I think strategic leadership and the ability to implement a plan coming forward, or even to pick up on the plan that the Commissioner has left behind and be able to implement that in a very sensible manner from our membership's perspective.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much, Mr. Sauvé, for joining us. Brenda Sauvé is the president of the National Police Federation.